All right. Today's gospel reading will be from Luke chapter 19, verses 45 through 48, and also chapter 20, verses 1 through 8. I'll be doing the explanation according to the Blessed Theophylact, who is an archbishop from the Ohrid region of Bulgaria from the 11th century. And he went into the temple and began to cast them out that sold therein, and them that bought, saying unto them, It is written, My house is the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. And he taught daily in the temple. But the chief priests and the scribes and the chief of the people sought to destroy him, and could not find what they might do, for all the people hung on to hear him. And it came to pass that on one of those days, as he taught the people in the temple and preached the gospel, the chief priests and the scribes with the elders came upon him and spake unto him, saying, Tell us, by what authority doest thou these things? Or who is he that gave thee this authority? And he answered and said unto them, I will ask you one thing, and answer me. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or of men? And they reasoned among themselves, saying, If we shall say from heaven, he will say, Why then believed ye him not? But if we say of men, all the people will stone us, for they be persuaded that John was a prophet. And they answered that they knew not whence it was. And Jesus said unto them, Neither tell I you by what authority I do these things. And the explanation here, having entered into Jerusalem with glory, and the Lord now shows the mark of his own authority by cleansing the peddlers from his Father's house. Although he had done this before at the beginning of his preaching, as John relates in chapter 2, verse 14 through 16, he does it now for a second time as an even greater condemnation of the Jews, for they did not amend their ways after his first correction, but continued their profiteering. They even called him an enemy of God at the very moment he was honoring the God the Father by cleansing the peddlers from the Father's house. Therefore he brings against them as their accuser Isaiah, who said, My house shall be called a house of prayer, as Isaiah said in 56:7. It was foolish for them to ask him, By what authority doest thou these things? For they were well able to answer their own question, had he not provided them with the testimony of the prophet's words, that the house of God is a house of prayer, and not a place of business or a den of thieves, for greed and profiteering are thievery. Therefore, what need was there to ask him by what authority he did these things? It should have been obvious to them that it was God who had commanded these things through his prophet. But they ask, By what authority doest thou these things? The law directs those descended from Levi to keep in good order the affairs of the temple. But you, who are not descended from the tribe of Levi, how dare you usurp the duties of a priest? But remember, O Jews, what David said of Christ, Thou art a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek, as in Psalms 109:4. Melchizedek was called a priest, yet he was not a priest according to the law, nor was he of the tribe of Levi. How could he have been, having been born before Levi? In the same vein, why do you seek to place Christ within the classifications of the law? Laws do not apply to God. When it was time to do so, God commanded that the priests come from the tribe of Levi. But now he transfers duties, giving preference to the priesthood of Melchizedek. See Hebrews chapters 7 and 8. This is why the Lord cast out from the temple those buying and selling the animals of sacrifice, such as sheep and doves, not only out of concern for reverence and orderliness in the temple, but also to show that it is no longer necessary to believe that God is moved to mercy by the sacrifice of animals. It would have been easy for the Lord to answer them, as we have said, and to say that it is the prophet, or more correctly, God himself, who commands him to do these things. Instead, he asked them a question in return in order to show them that they always disbelieve the Holy Spirit, refusing to believe not only Isaiah, the prophet of old, whom perhaps they cannot remember, but even John, who appeared only yesterday and who lived in a miraculous life that was a little short of being immaterial and fleshless. The Lord asks this marvelous question and shuts their mouths. He shows that if they would not believe even such a great prophet as John, who seemed to them greater than Christ and who bore witness to Christ, why would they believe Christ if he told them by what authority he did these things? If he had told them, it is certain that they would have slandered and rejected him, just as they had rejected the words of John, who was, in their eyes, more glorious than Jesus.